So, my name's Kevin Birkett. I'm a constable with the Winnipeg Police. And I'm what's called the Community Support Unit Officer for the area of Main Street south of Higgins Avenue. And so 188 impacts my area. And I've been doing that for the past 3 years. So as I explained to the earlier group, why isn't the chief here to thank you for that? And you certainly deserve that for providing the church, the people, the services there. And, well, nothing on the chief or any chief of any police department or whatever, but I am the boots on the ground in that area. And I don't mind saying I'm going to know a little more about what's going on in the street than that chief or any chief. And I'm not just saying that, I mean, that's just sort of what's happened. I've worked the core area of Winnipeg most of my career, which is 33 years, 4 months, and a week or so. 25 years in the core area, 20 years downtown. I've been downtown the last 13 years, and then the last 3 years walking the beat. I walked the beat on Main Street in the Exchange area when I started. So you're thinking, what did I do wrong? Well, I've probably done a lot of things wrong, but this is what it is, and this is where I'm at, and I have no regrets. As the king would say, regrets I've had a few, so, and I won't mention any of them. But being the beat officer for that area of the city, I work with a lot of the main services that deal with lost souls. So it's like Siloam Mission, Main Street Project, Salvation Army. I'm there daily, weekly, all the time. And it's sort of ironic that St. Jude is the patron saint of police officers, because he's also the patron saint of lost souls. And over my 30-some years, I have the distinction or whatever of having heard the stories of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and then some of people who are lost. And I usually hear that at their worst moments. It's just the way it is. And what those organizations, Siloam, Main Street Project, a lot of good people, a lot of good work, especially frontline people. But they're big, with no fault of their own. And a lot of people they fall through the cracks, and those organizations don't work for them. And that's where 188 comes into play. And I mean, 188 Princess has always been significant to me. It was our police association building when I started. And so I've always kind of watched what it is, and I knew about 188. And I knew through the people of that community, the lost souls, about the good work they did. And so really I didn't have to visit there too much. I mean, I have to go where I have to go. But eventually I did want to go by and see Greg and Dave and a lot of people there. Well, I know them. I see them all. People talk to me. I can't run away. I have to talk to them. So, and it's one thing that people don't mind is somebody to listen to them. And they don't always quite get that at those other big organizations. Again, a lot of good frontline staff. But at 188, through their experience and how they do it there and just the general, the atmosphere, the people that are able to talk to people a little more, a little interact, and help give them that something that they might not get at the other places. And as a police officer, I need Greg and Dave and the staff, because if there's one thing, and I told that to the early group, that is frustrating as a police officer, you can't solve everything as much as you'd like to, and it's like you do what you can. And if what I can do is recommend them to various places, Siloam Mission or whatnot, or 188 Princess, then that's what I can do. And through these people who don't talk to a lot of people, they'll say that, the various places, and 188 is one of them, they get the help that they just can't quite get. It's, as I said, it's a last chance saloon for a lot of people. A lot of places, it's all about, unfortunately, just a Band-Aid approach, and that's, it is what it is there too. And 188 is integral in the healing part of that which the Band-Aid would be required. And they're not the, as Greg will say, they're not the final solution, but they are definitely part of the solution. And working in conjunction with the bigger organizations, their work is instrumental, and for that, I mean, you people should be proud. And if any of you guys are wondering, like, okay, well, Greg, what have you, like, let's hear some stats. Like, we need some bang for our buck here. That's going to be elusive when you're dealing with human interest stories. I recall reading about something, Robert McNamara, who was Secretary of State in the Lyndon administration in the US, when they were prosecuting the Vietnam War, his big thing was numbers, 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 numbers. And the human interest side was lost upon him, and it was lost upon the administration. And that was one of the big failings of that, is that you were thinking of numbers or widgets. And you can't dwell on numbers, and they're not dwelling on numbers. I mean, they're not dwelling on numbers too much at Siloam in a way, or Main Street Project, although they do count numbers a lot, because they have to. 188, they don't have to, and nor should they have to. And you just measure it by the general feeling and whatnot you get in the community. So please don't, expect numbers from Greg, because I know from what I hear in the community, and I hear a lot in the community, that they're doing wonderful work there. Also through one of the big agencies downtown, and if you see the red coats on the street, the Downtown Watch, the Downtown Biz, they have what's called the CHAT, which is Community Homeless Action Team. And those people are boots on the ground too. They're right in the community, and they're doing what they can, dealing with the people that 188 deals with, and they just love 188. So, and if they say that, that's big, because like they're heavily involved in the pulse of that community.